from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. Visayas is in the middle region of the Philippines. You got Luzon on top, Visayas, and Mindanao. Here's my coffee with Ginno cup. I'm having my Copico Blanca, my 3-in-1 coffee, my favorite 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. 3-in-1 coffee is coffee, cream, and sugar all in one. It's like powder form. You just put it in your cup and then put hot water and you're good to go. Nice cup of coffee here in the Philippines. Very inexpensive. A lot of your tricycle drivers, a lot of your jeepney drivers, you can get like a nice cup of coffee at the sari-sari store in the morning for about 10 pesos, about 20 US cents. Very popular. When I took Leanna this morning to school at the sari-sari store coming out of Camellia, I see maybe 3 or 4 tricycle drivers there having their cup of coffee. Good morning, HD. Greetings and salutations, my friend. All right, I always start the live stream with the weather report. As far as the weather, the tropical storm, severe tropical storm Gorio, Gorio, is now out of the PAR, the Philippine Area of Responsibility. So no typhoon, no storm, no severe depression, nothing like that in the Philippine Area of Responsibility. The only weather that's affecting the Philippines is the habagat, the southwest monsoon, and pretty much the whole country is being affected by habagat. So scattered rain, thunderstorm, cloudy skies all over the country because it's habagat season from Manila, from Visayas, here in Visayas, to Bicol, Mindanao, pretty much the whole country. Habagat is what's affecting our climate, our weather here in the Philippines. We actually got rain last night, HD. We got rain last night. I was sleeping already, but we did get rain last night. But this morning, it is sunny again. So it was actually nice and cool air this morning when I drove Bumblebee. Bumblebee is our tricycle right there. I took Leanna to school this morning. She was excited to go to school today because she said they have a lot of activities today, projects and like a program in school. And it's Thursday. She knows the week is winding down. So she's excited that tomorrow is Friday already. Bright and sunny this morning. I see clouds, but it's not rain clouds. I see more blue skies out here. But like HD was saying, maybe it'll rain later on this afternoon. And that's normal here. It'll rain like in the afternoon, right around sunset, usually around 5 p.m. is when it will rain here. There's my other kuya right there. He's like sweeping outside his house. That's how our neighborhood here is. It's like nothing really changes in our street here, in our neighborhood. That guy is making good progress on painting that house. I was watching him yesterday. He painted the lines and painted the door, the windows on the second floor there. Just one person painting it. So it's gonna take him a while to paint that house. But like I was saying, most of the people here, when you hire them, a painter, if you hire a painter like this guy painting this house, he makes about 500 pesos a day, or about $9 a day. So he's probably not in a rush. he's taking his time painting that house. Just another beautiful day here in our neighborhood here. Today, after the live stream, I'm gonna meet my friend from Atlanta. He's been here in Calibo now for over a week. He's been trying out Calibo. The first 2 days, I hanged out with him, Dazzle and I actually. Uh, I took him to the Esplanade. I took him to New Washington. Gave him a tour of Calibo. So he's been here a week. He said he went to Bakawan. Bakawan is kind of like the mangroves area. Uh, a lot of tourists go to the mangrove area. It's nice. They have a walking path made of bamboo. So after this live stream, I'm gonna meet my friend in Atlanta just to see how it's going, and then probably take him around. I wanted to take him to the capital area, the Aklan provincial capital, because that building where the governor sits, it's a cool building. It's got like those kind of reminds me of what you see in Greece. Those big columns, and big sign, the Aklan provincial capital. I wanted to get at least a picture of him there standing by the Capitol, and then just walk around the Capitol area. I know the immigration office, the Bureau of Immigration. It's near the Capitol area. The last time I went, I took my other friend. He got his visa renewal, his tourist visa, and that would be the case for my friend from Atlanta. It was at the ABL, the sports complex, in that building. They had the office there, but when I looked at it, it looked like a temporary office. So I want to make sure they are still there. If not, I'm sure we'll find somebody will tell us where the immigration office is, because my friend from Atlanta, he came here. He was in Iloilo City, I think, for about a week. He's been here a week now, so he's coming up. He's coming up on his 29 days. That's what you get when you first land here, free tourist visa for 29 days. So he has to extend that for 30 days. The first extension is you're only allowed to extend 1 month, and then the second extension you're allowed to extend 2 months, and after that it's every 2 months you have to extend your visa. The only place I've heard now that extends your tourist visa for 6 months at a time is the main office in Manila. Everywhere else, I've heard, I know here in Aklan province, they extend it every 2 months, and it's an easy process. It's not like maybe in Manila more people, but here in Aklan province, I've helped people renew their tourist visa in Calibo. I've helped a friend renew his tourist visa in Boracay. They even have an office in Boracay. Easy peasy. It's like both times there's maybe like one person ahead of them. Or one time when my friend and I went to Boracay, there's nobody there, but the immigration guy was the only one there. So even have free coffee, free tea. I was like, man, this place is nice, air conditioned. And I heard, like, people always say, it's like the fees gone up. I just saw someone on one of my expat groups. He just updated his tourist visa, and there was no change, no change in price. He said it's been the same price the past 2 years he's been here. So, you always get like different information, but I've not seen an increase. The Bureau of Immigration hasn't posted an increase in price. I do know some immigration office, they will post like express fee, like if you're in a hurry or something, because usually what happens is when you renew it, like when my friend in Boracay renewed it, he was the only one the guy was assisting, but he had to take his passport and then told us to come back in a couple of hours and then come back. Maybe the express means he'd do it on the spot. I don't know. But the prices haven't changed. There hasn't been like an increase in the tourist visa fee that I know of. And if I hear any increase in the tourist visa, I'll definitely update people for sure. As far as the news here, I wanted to report some news because they in the West Philippine Sea. And this latest event that, I'm sure you've seen the video already, the two Chinese boats crashing to each other, damaging two of the Chinese boats. And right after that, they had actually in the uh, uh, Batanes area. Now, Batanes area, that's Philippines already. That's part of the Philippines. And the Philippine Coast Guard, they've been spotting like Chinese vessels there, without authorization. But China's been doing that. It's not a new thing. Right here it says Philippine Navy confronts two Chinese ships near Batanes, and that's not a new thing. They even had a thing yesterday where a Chinese plane, was like, it's all about when I remember when I was stationed in Korea back in the 80s, North Korea used to do stuff like that. The DMZ. I was stationed in South Korea, and the DMZ. They would fly over our line. It's kind of like see how you're gonna react, trying to like instigate something. But Americans are trained to that. You're not just gonna, if a plane crosses over your territory, you're not just gonna shoot it down. It's all about, you still have to like maintain. You don't want to cause an international incident. And the Philippines is the same. They don't want to, Philippines is not trying to like, hit these ships that are entering our sovereignty, the Philippine sovereignty. But you can see the problem with that. It's like, if a Philippine vessel went inside China territory, I'm sure they're not going to be happy. And China's been doing that even in Taiwan. They'll cross over airspace in Taiwan. They're just trying to stir things up. So now the United States, they decided. That's what the article I read yesterday. I have it right here. It says breaking news. Breaking news. The U.S. Navy warships are deployed off Panatag, Scarborough Shoal, days after the collision of Chinese ships there. So now the U.S. has been in the area anyway. We got ships, military U.S. Navy ships in the area anyway, patrolling that, making sure the freedom of navigation is enforced because China's blocking stuff, doing crazy stuff. So now there's the USS Higgins and the USS Cincinnati. They are now in that area where that collision happened. So they're now patrolling that area. More likely, I would think, the next time, the reason the Philippine Coast Guard was there, they're escorting supply ships to those territory that the Philippines own in the West Philippine Sea. But China keeps blocking, making it hard for resupply. But I think now, with the Navy ships, U.S. Navy ships in that area, I think that's going to continue now. I'm sure the U.S. just don't want any incident happening. It's like the U.S. is just there for deterrent. But I'm sure, Chinese propaganda, there's spinning that. Like everything else in the news, everything gets spun in the news. They're saying that Americans are trying to cause a war. China, China's always been crazy. I wouldn't trust anything China says, According to Commodore J, Philippine Coast Guard. So now those two U.S. Navy warships are deployed at the Scarborough Shoal. So that should keep the peace. That's always been, when I was in the military, my 20 years in the military, I came in during the Cold War, when we had Cold War with Russia, and then that ended, and now China is the threat. It's always been like that anyway for the U.S. U.S. is not building up military, doing all this for us to attack a country. U.S. we don't do that. We're there for the deterrent. That's the main purpose of the United States military, so that nobody thinks of starting World War III or keep bullying other countries. We just want to keep democracy. Because we don't want China and communism to take over the world. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. All right. Steve Farmer, good to see you, Ginno. Salute from Hot Tucson, Hot Tucson. All right, man. Not too bad here. And this morning, actually, a little cooler air. It's in the 80 degrees Fahrenheit here, but it picks up quick. You know, it gets warm here. By I would say after this live stream around 9:30, it's gonna start getting warm here. Though you mentioned it before, but with Tricare, what do I ask for so I can use it over there? All right. It just depends, Steve. If you're moving to the Philippines, right? If you're moving here, then you have to switch over to what's called Tricare Select Overseas. That's what we belong. Like myself and Dazzle, open enrollment for that is usually November. There's an open enrollment here for Tricare Select Overseas. But if you move, they'll make an exception. Like if you say you move right now and it's August, all you have to do is you have to call Tricare in Singapore. There is no Tricare office, unfortunately, here in the Philippines. No number you can call here in the Philippines. The number is in Singapore. And you just tell them that, hey, here's my new address. I'm moving to the Philippines. And they will switch you to whatever Tricare you belong. If you belong to Tricare Prime, Tricare West, whatever Tricare you belong to, you can switch over to Tricare Select Overseas. Now, if you're just visiting here, you can even set up your allotment like I do. It's like my Tricare, when I initially did that, when I switched over to Tricare Select Overseas, I just have them pull the money out of my an allotment from my pension. So every month they just deduct from my pension. So I don't even see the money. I don't even send them a check. To me it just helps not something else that I don't have to worry about. It's just automatic. And the fee, like for the family fee, like for Dazzle and I, for Tricare, it's about $400. $400 a year. So to me, that's not bad. It's like a little over $30, maybe $32, $33 a month, for Dazzle and I to have medical coverage here. Now, if you're just here in the Philippines on a vacation or a visit, you're not moving here, you can still use your Tricare here, but you have to make sure that the hospital that you go to is certified or preferred. If they're certified or preferred, because you're not signed up for Tricare Select Overseas, you're just probably Tricare Prime, Tricare West, whatever you sign in the U.S. What you do is you have to pay up front. You have to pay 100% up front, get all your receipts, make sure you get a copy of your medical record. There's actually like a record section at each hospital, and you can get what's called the medical abstract. It's kind of like a synopsis of what happened to you, like maybe 3-4 pages with the hospital seal, official document, colored paper and everything. Tricare will need that when you file with Tricare online for your reimbursement. You'll pay 100%, and then 75% Tricare will reimburse you. Same thing with medications. All your medications, you get your medications. Most of the medications here, mercury drug, that Tricare also reimburses that. There are hospitals here, like me, I go to Medical City Iloilo because they're Tricare preferred. All I do when they're Tricare preferred, all I do is pay my copay and they take care of the rest. I don't fill out any paperwork with Tricare. Mom Marlene, the Tricare office, they take good care of me. The problem they're running into, I know at Medical City Iloilo, they got burned because they didn't check properly before. It happened one time, that the person was not Tricare Select Overseas. The person belonged to some other Tricare program in the US, and Tricare wouldn't pay the hospital back. So now they're careful, of course. They lost like hundreds of thousands of pesos, and the guy never paid them. So now they're really particular. They want to make sure people are under, if you're using the copay program, they're making sure that you're Tricare Select Overseas. So It might be different in Manila. I don't know what they, it's like facility to facility. Like if you go to St. Luke's, BGC, or Makati Medical Center, I know a lot of Tricare people use that hospital in Manila. I haven't been there. So it's not like in the US where, Tricare operates the same at each hospital. Here it doesn't. Each hospital, they're doing their own thing with Tricare because they're protecting themselves. They want to make sure they get their money from Tricare. Hopefully that answers your questions. And hopefully, if you move here, it's different. If you just on vacation, it's different. But you can use Tricare here. People use Tricare here all the. I've been using Tricare here in the Philippines for 14 years, so I know it works here. It's actually gotten easier now. When I first got here in 2011, all the way up to, like, I would say 25 years ago, it was a challenge using Tricare here, but now, they got a good handle of it. There's a list of hospitals you can use here in the Philippines. You just check it online on the Tricare, just Google it. It's like a Tricare Philippine hospitals, and it'll pop in there. You just put the city or province where you want to get treated, and it'll show like the Tricare certified and Tricare preferred facilities. But you got to make sure that the hospital you're going to is Tricare certified or preferred. If they're not on the list, you won't get reimbursed. You won't get reimbursed at all. Rocking the new oh yeah, my sister, this is one of the shirts that my sister sent me. She sent me a couple of Puma, Under Armour, Reebok, so my sister knows my taste. She just rocking the new Puma shirt. HD. Did Leanna say what kind of events they have going at school? It would be interesting to see if it's school sports. Not yet. Not school sports yet. HD. The school sports, it's like intramurals. They'll announce that all the kids will have their shirt, like different. Each grade will have a shirt. They have to come up with a cheer dance. It could be. I don't know. She didn't mention. She just told me that there's a school activity. Usually it's like that. Usually it's sports. Usually it's like dancing. The schools here, they do a lot of dancing events for the kids. I'll ask her when she gets home today. But I do know they have like a project, like a science project too, that she was really getting prepared for. And then this Saturday, Liana, we're gonna take her to Kalibo for that Kumon, Kumon, Kumon. She's gonna have that Kumon assessment. That way, she'll get more tutored in math, reading, and English, to improve her math and English. I just want her to get like all the opportunities to succeed. She's like, Leanna, I know she'll do well with anything she does in life because she's really a confident young lady now. Real humble, polite, she's not a troublemaker. All the teachers love her, so even the classmates, even her classmates like her. Phil, all right, Phil McCracken, hi, HD. Okay, nice, all right, nice, all right, looks like area of Florida. Yeah, our weather here is similar to weather in Florida. I used to live in Louisiana, a little bit of Louisiana, like that, the muggy weather sometimes, high humidity, always humid here in the Philippines. You always sweat here. It's not hard throughout the year, it's like that's a constant, unless you're in an air-conditioned building all the time, but which most people aren't, because electricity is more expensive here in the Philippines. So if you use your AC, your air condition all day, all night, you're gonna pay a premium. Your electric bill is gonna be high here. Most of us will just open our windows. We have screen on the windows, so keep the bugs out, and run fans in the house. Lowell Matheson, kumusta? Mabuti ako, kaibigan. Oregon, God bless from Oregon. All right, I've been to Oregon. One of the states that I visited while I was in the U.S. I tried to visit most of the states in the U.S., but I don't think I completed it. There were states that I missed. There's so many states. So, but I traveled like that Oregon route all the way to Seattle, and then I traveled all the way from California to Florida. Did that many times, actually. Did that many times. Kevin Shores, hi. Hey, everything's going good. Everything's going good. Week is going by fast. It's already Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday, actually, today. I asked Leanna this morning. She goes, Kuya, it's already Thursday. Oh, right, all right. I lose track of days because I don't really, actually, I can't find my watch. The orange watch, the digital orange watch, the Casio, my $18 watch for Casio. I can't find it. I misplaced it in the house. I don't know if I misplaced it somewhere or I misplaced it in the house. So I have to look at my phone now to keep track of time. The only reason I keep track of time is because of Leanna, because I have to make sure I'm the one that picks her up from school at 4 p.m. So, when I take a nap in the afternoon, I'm kind of eyeballing my phone, make sure I don't sleep in till like 4. Ronnie, hi bro, good to see you again. How have you been? I'm good, Ronnie. I think I know who you are. Yeah, I think from if you're the guy that I know from Pampanga. All right, I'm doing good. Uh, just been busy. Been busy. YouTube pretty much keeps me busy with people coming in now to Panay Island. Like next week, there's a couple coming to Boracay, and they wanted to meet Dazzle and I. So hopefully the weather stays for next week. I don't mind doing that because for people when they go to Boracay, they want to meet us. I can just do a day trip. I don't have to stay overnight in Boracay. I can leave like after I drop off Leanna at school at 7. I can drive to Boracay, take the ferry. I could be on Front Beach by 8:30. It takes me like an hour and a half. So I could 8:30, man. I can eat breakfast at Real Coffee on Station 2. I can meet people for breakfast or for coffee or for lunch, and then before 2 p.m. I'll leave, and then I'll have enough time to pick up Leanna. So that's. I don't mind when it's sunny because when you get to Front Beach in Boracay, it's still, I can just hang out there until it's time for me to get back to get Leanna. Keep Philippines safe. Of course, of course. That's all it is. It's like, I know, the news sometimes make a spin about, all, but for me, I understand, it's like I was in the military for 20 years. I understand what a deterrent means. I've been through, like I said, I've been through the Cold War with Russia, and that's how we beat Russia. That's how they surrendered, because we just had, they just saw that they weren't going to win. They're not going to win, like building arms against. And now I think we're in that situation with China. It's like, we gotta build a strong keep the military strong to keep China at bay because China has ambitions. I think everybody knows China has announced that they want Taiwan. They're building their military to like take over other places. They're not building their military to protect themselves. I think that's not communist. Communism is about spreading, about growing their influence in the world. I wonder how many submarines are in the area. I would just say, Edgar, I'm sure there's plenty. There's plenty of submarines. There's plenty of submarines in that area. I mean, China can't even blink. They can't even like launch, from China, like the land, the minute their boat or anything like leaves port in China, everything's getting tracked. Everything's getting tracked, especially their close proximity with Taiwan. We're tracking everything that they're doing. Nope, the Chinese aren't good. The Chinese aren't good. China is operating in gray zones. China is nowhere near the area where they collided, but instead within the exactly. I mean, and that's been happening. HD, it's like everybody here, it's like that's almost like a week to week thing here. They're doing, they're just bullying, they're intimidating the Philippines, but. The Philippines is arming. It's like modernizing the Philippine Navy. The Philippines just bought F-16s from the U.S. Hasn't been delivered, but it's coming. BrahMos missiles from India, shipment in 2024, shipment this year. Philippines is ordering more. So Philippines is arming. Philippines is arming, and with the help of Americans here, there's a lot of gear here now. My friend from Tucson, he sent me a video, and they're just like stockpiling arms here in the Philippines for an event. Just, like I said, just a deterrent. If something ever happens, the U.S. don't have to ship all that stuff to the Philippines. It's going to be here already. Their state news is trying to cover up this embarrassment. I know, right? I mean, that's like, that to me, HD, that's like the dumbest thing I've seen. Two Chinese ships, our Coast Guard and our battleship, colliding with each other. That's like, I mean, don't they have radar? Don't they have don't they have talk to each other? I mean, that's like the dumbest thing I've heard. That is an embarrassment, man. As big as the ocean is, for two ships to collide like that. Yeah, that's China. They always sell their, nobody believes China's propaganda. My brother's wife is from the Philippines. All right. Salamat, kuya. Salamat. Walang anuman, Steve. Any questions on Tricare? It's like, I've dealt with Tricare enough. I have several Tricare videos that I've made. I have a Tricare playlist. I might even do one. I might do another one just to update people on how Tricare's. But I always tell people, if you have Tricare, you're blessed. You're blessed, man, because if you want to live here in the Philippines, come to the Philippines and you have Tricare, you just got to be thankful that there is Tricare, because without that, like me, I would not have insurance here without Tricare. So that would be an extra expense that I have to take in, that I have to save for. But with Tricare, it's just like a blessing to have Tricare here in the Philippines. Michael C. in the Philippines, my good friend from Trece Martires. Good morning, bro. Good morning. I can't believe it's early Thursday, Michael. I thought it was Wednesday, actually. Leanna had to remind me this morning that it's Thursday. It's a great day going to Taga. Oh, nice. So 74 degrees. Wow. Here it's about 80, so I know it's cooler. It's cooler there in Tagaytay, man. You're so lucky, man. You're so blessed, Michael. I mean, that's awesome. Tagaytay is just one of the best places that I've visited in Luzon. When we went to Luzon, I would say the best places I saw in Luzon was Tagaytay and Baguio. I really enjoyed my time there. And Vegan. I think for people that haven't been to Vegan, that in Ilocos Sur, Vegan Ilocos, I mean, that's like the empanadas, the good empanadas, and then just brings you back in time, Calle Crisoligo, that old Spanish cobblestone, just brings you back in time. The Vegan is nice, but Tagaytay, I love Tagaytay. Bulalo in Tagaytay, get that bulalo soup. Go watch, there's a Starbucks there overlooking Taal Volcano. Just cool place. Hi. Ishai, Israel, hi. What's up? I'm good, my friend. Thank you for asking. Is short for Uno. All right. Doctors don't know anything. All right. You're realized. Oh, speaking of doctors, that was another article on the Philippine news here that I was wanted to share with you this morning. Oh, it's we have pick our garbage pickup. They always pick up different days for like recyclables, plastic, paper, and then the biodegradable. So almost every day. But that's why outside we have like bins. We have like 3 bins where we put our stuff. But like I saw this on the Manila Times, and they report that the Philippines faces doctor shortage, falls short of the World Health Organization standard. I guess the standard for the World Health Organization, the ratio of doctors, they want 10 doctors for every 10,000 people. I guess the Philippines were just multiplying so fast. The population is growing so fast that the ratio is not, we're not meeting their standard. So that's an issue. I mean, a lot of doctors, unfortunately, they seek to go overseas, to go to America, Canada, because they can make more money. It's like the National Capital Region, this is Luzon, like Metro Manila, at least they're still meeting the standard. They're like a 10.9. But the problem, the worst areas here in the Philippines. So this could be something to consider if you're trying to move to these areas. The worst areas right now is, it says here, Caraga, 2.2 per 10,000 is the ratio of doctors. Eastern Visayas, the Samar, Leyte area, 3.9 per 10,000 people. And then the Zamboanga Peninsula, 3.3 doctors per 10,000. So something to consider, that makes a whole lot of difference. It's like if there's more doctors in the area where you plan on moving here in the Philippines. That's why I always tell people, before you come, before you decide to get on that plane, you need to do your research online. You could do your research online, but also try to meet people in that area where you're going. It's like not hard with Facebook now, with all the groups. I mean, there's like one group I belong to, positive, conservative-minded expats. There's another positive-minded expat. I like the positive. When I see positive, I like that. I mean, there's some expat groups, that I would not recommend, because like they argue online. But there's some groups that are good. You can always find people. It's like, if let's say you're coming, like if you're coming here, you find me, right? If you're coming in Kalibo, Kaaklan, it's like I can help here. I can give you information here. If you go to Cebu, there's vloggers in Cebu. Contact them. My friend Ruben, that's what Ruben did. Before Ruben, he finally decided here in Kalibo. He's been living here now in Kalibo since January. He's in the U.S. right now to get medical checks and all that, but he'll be back here first week of September. But Ruben, what he did exactly that. He contacted the places where he wanted to go. Davao, he contacted a vlogger. He started being friends with a vlogger. That's how he found me. He started because he was interested in Aklan. And Dumaguete, he contacted a vlogger in Dumaguete. And that's when you know if that vlogger is legit, right? That's when you know if that vlogger is really helpful, like what they're saying on their channel. It's like, but you use that, use that resource. Your real doctor is in heaven. All right, guys. Good morning, James. My good friend James and Karen's Adventures. Check out their channel. Their channel is awesome. James is he's an adventurer, man. James is like awesome. They just came back from the foot of Mount Canlaon, active volcano. He just came back from Negros Occidental. James is always looking for an adventure. That's a perfect name for their channel. Good morning, my friend. He's strolling like it happened. Oh, okay, no, thank you, HD, for their heads up. I'll just skip him. All right. Puma, they have nice sneakers years ago. All right. I guess he is. I won't read this stuff anymore that way. Maybe he'll just go away. Margie Deck, morning from Orlando, Florida. Eating my dinner from the nice, the Navy Exchange. All right. I've eaten many meals at the Air Force Exchange. The BX, the BX is what we call it in the Air Force. What are those food? Anthony's Pizza. What is it? Charlie's. What was that? Philadelphia cheesesteak. What else? Baskin Robbins. Popeyes. I think they had Popeyes at Davis Monthan at the food court. The last time I was able to eat at Navy Exchange actually, I took Dazzle to Sembawang Naval Base in Singapore, and they had their BX area. Their food court was small; it wasn't much, but I'm trying to remember what I knew we ate a sub sandwich, so I can't remember if it was a Charlie's or if it was. What's that other sub place in the U.S.? I forget him. I can't. Subway. I think it was either Charlie's Philly cheesesteak or Subway. But that's what we ate. Dazzle and I ate at the Navy Exchange at the Sembawang Naval Base in Singapore. Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. There's Maggie, Daniel from Orlando, and then now Daniel from Jacksonville. How are your animals? How are your animals? Oh, that's right. I know the last time we were at James' house for the party. I know we had the geese, the big geese. I remember seeing that. I know James was talking about switching from moving away from chickens. And the gang, Ginno and the gang. All right. HD, all right. I'll just skip him, HD. Thank you, though, HD. Appreciate it. I'll just skip him. Ooh, Batsman. Hello from Germany. All right, Germany. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. We've been getting a few people now from all over the world, and I really appreciate it. I love seeing like the different countries represented. We had Brazil the other day, Norway, now Germany. It's just awesome. It's awesome how our little tiny channel can reach out to all these people in different parts of the world. That's just awesome. Hello, India. Well, see right there, India. Come on now, that's awesome. That is so awesome from India. JB, hey JB, Ginno and the posse. All right. It's a California guy. I'm not staying. All right, no worries, JP. Hey, do your thing, man. No pressure. Anytime, you guys, I've never, not and you don't have, you don't have to do the live stream. It's like no pressure at all. Just when you're available. Me, I'm always available. That's why I do this live stream in the morning. I don't mind doing this. Dazzle's still sleeping. I think Mom is sleeping too. She was here earlier. She was making Leanna's lunch, but after she was done with Leanna's lunch, she went back to bed. Today's heat index, ooh, that's hotter than here. Daniel. 106 Fahrenheit. That's hot. I mean, we've reached like 90s here during the day, but we haven't hit like 100. Usually the 100-degree temperatures here in the Philippines is during summertime, like from March, April, May. But right now we're not hitting triple digits anymore. But 90s is still pretty hot, especially if it's like 70 humidity, 70% humidity. That's still pretty hot. Wow, don't overwork, Daniel. Don't overwork, man. Get some rest too. You don't want to get sick, But sometimes when people overwork, that's the next thing that happens is they get sick. It's Clinton's mistake that we're dealing with now. People thought that if given China would democratic and treat others as right, he allowed them. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Unfortunately, HD. It is what it is. It is what it is. And hey, Fortune, my good friend in Bacoor, Cavite. With today on site tomorrow. Okay, work from home. Nice, nice. And then on site in Makati for Friday. That's just cool, man. I like that, Fortune, how you get to work at home. You get to, at least, 1 or 2 days in the office, but most of the time you're at home. I never got to experience that. That would have been cool. I wouldn't mind working at home, man. That would have. Edgar, hello, Fortune. Bonjour. Ah, bonjour. All right, we got friends. We got friends in the house, man. It's good to get some rain as long. I know. It's like I didn't even feel it, but I did notice when I woke up this morning. I went before I have to take Leanna to school. I had to wipe down Bumblebee. The seat was wet, a little bit on the canopy over my head, so I had to wipe that down. But it wasn't like it wasn't like it was dry already. The street was dry already. Just a little bit wet. Like you said, I don't mind like a little bit of rain. It kind of cools off things, and it keeps everything green. It keeps everything green because if you have too many days where there's no rain, it starts getting brown here. The grass, everything starts turning brown. I like it. I like it green. Sophia, hi. Hello, my good friend in Angeles, Pampanga. Hello. James and James, all right. The animals are good. We lost Duffy last night on the mountain, though. Oh, man. Sorry about that, guys. I know, I could tell, like, with animals, I could tell, like, Karen gets attached. Sorry to hear that. Possible cause. It's the new Austin Power. International man. Yeah, baby. Oh, mystery. We think she got into a bait station out in the rice field. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that, James and Karen. I plan on moving to Cebu by next year. My biggest concern is medical because I have stage 3 diastolic heart failure. Okay, I understand. I have a little bit of medical background. It's like I worked in hospitals for 27 years, so I know. It's like I'm familiar with COPD, all that heart failure, and so on. I would prefer a smaller town like where you're at, but yes, with the conditions that you have, Lowell, province would it not be a good place? You need to be near. I would probably, Cebu City would be good. There's like an Asian hospital there. It's actually Tricare certified. It's not Tricare preferred, but Tricare certified. Good facilities there. So, and meet for another place that for you because you have a lot medical conditions. You want to be where the best medical care here in the Philippines, and that would be BGC in Manila, Makati Medical. Here in Iloilo City, I recommend, that's where I go. I recommend Medical City Iloilo. And then in Cebu City, there's good hospitals in Cebu. It was a Chinese, I forget the name, Changhua Hospital or something like that. But they do have a good hospitals in Cebu. I would not recommend going to the provinces because they did open like here in Calibo, Asia Pacific Medical Center, but it's new. It's a year old. It's like you want to be like in well-established hospitals that JCO certified by organizations like the same accreditation as in the United States. Skating Geezer. All right, Skating Geezer from Ormoc. Ormoc, my friend in Ormoc. If you got extensive health issues and would need treatment for it, you need to stay in the city. Oh yeah, that's same thing. My recommendation, HD. I actually for people, I know how much people want to go to the Philippines, but if you got a lot of medical issues, it's like the U.S. is the best place. For just my opinion, just because you got Medicare in the U.S. Here, if you come here, Medicare is not accepted here, so a lot of your care will come out of pocket. And bills here can climb up just like anywhere else. It's cheaper. Medical care here is cheaper, but if you need extensive, like repeated admittance to the hospitals, bills gonna easily pile up here. So. But I know, there's just a lot of people that desire to come to the Philippines. A lot of it, they have a Filipina spouse. Actually, I've seen both dynamics. I'm surprised, actually. I've seen the dynamic where the Filipina don't want to come back to the Philippines. It's the American that wants to come to the Philippines because, the living is cheaper here. Simpler way of life, more peaceful, more peaceful. That's why you probably mentioned that's why you're looking at the province because it is. For me, I see it like I saw it really fast when I moved to Boracay Island 14 years ago, and I see it every day. The pace of life here in the province is just so slow. Island life, it's like for retirement to me, it's the best. I think it's the best situation if you're retiring. You want that slow pace. You don't want that hustle and bustle. You don't want like all the noise, all the crowds. Just for me anyway. For me, I've realized like that as I gotten older. I'm 59 years old now. I treasure peace and quiet. I treasure our community here. I treasure every time I wake up. I can walk down my street and I don't hear any noise. I hear the birds. I hear birds. It's like I treasure that, and I know most people. As they get older. My friend actually, he's in Butuan City now, and he was telling me how he noticed he's 67 now, 67. He told me, Gino, I think as older I'm getting, I'm lacking patience. He's telling me like I'm not as patient anymore. Things aggravate me more, and I think that happens. But for me, it hasn't just because I live in a quiet, peaceful place. It's like I get to do simple things. It's like I don't have that. The city noise. The crowds. I don't like that anymore. I don't like, I like visiting Iloilo City. I like going to the mall, but for a short period of time. I wouldn't want to live there. I prefer the peaceful life now in the province. COPD is incurable. Said I. Thoughts on investing without 6 months of saved revenue? Thoughts on investing. Me, I don't invest anymore. I don't do stocks. I don't do investments. We did buy land, that's kind of like an investment. But most of our money, like, the money that we save, I just put on time deposit because I just don't want the risk anymore. I'm happy with the returns that I get. It's like, I know, when you start dealing with stocks, crypto, and all that, there's just a risk. And at this point in my life, I'm content. It's like we have savings. We keep growing our savings. Safety is more important as you get older. Just for me, anyway. I know some people there are still doing. For me, it's just less to worry. It's like when I retired, I really wanted to like live the retired life. I didn't want to like. I'm not materialistic anymore. I used to be when I lived in the U.S. I had a lot of material things, but now I live a more minimalist life. I don't crave anything. I don't crave buying electronics, buying gadgets. I do YouTube. I don't have a drone. This is an iPhone 10 that my friend gave me from Hawaii. It's I don't. Our laptop, we have an old Lenovo 5-year-old laptop. My friend Ruben actually gave us a new laptop. I don't purchase a lot of stuff. I don't want to be burdened anymore with like buying and craving things, buying things. That's just me. I just chose that when I retired here. I just find it more simple. I just find it like easier on me. Less stress. It's like less things that can break, less things that I have to replace. It's like I don't need the most advanced things anymore. I don't need the most advanced gadgets. Our internet, we got like from Kalibo Cable. I pay like $24 a month for our internet, and it's fine. We don't have cable TV. Our entertainment is basically our Wi-Fi. That's our entertainment. We pay Netflix. It's like 400. I think they raised it. It's 450 pesos now. About $9 for our Netflix for multiple users. So Dazzle, me, Leanna, Mom, we can all be on Netflix. For $9 a month. That's pretty much our entertainment. We're not like we don't like just we don't. Our house is so small. Our house is like a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, 430 square feet. Not a lot of space. So we don't have a lot of space to buy things and put things in it. And I like it that way. I like living a more minimalist lifestyle. Did you guys watch Mike of Canadian Breeder latest vid for 300K monthly? That expat got the nice big. I saw it briefly. I haven't watched the video. I subscribe to Mike's channel. So with James and Karen. Sometimes I see the thumbnail. I'll watch it later for sure. I'll watch it later when I have more time. Got a nice big house, which was just too not beachfront. You can find Fortune. You can find lots of homes like that, even here in Aklan province. Like I know in Nabas, there's plenty of places. For that price, man, 30K, man. That's like a big time house here in Aklan. I know a lot of expats here in Aklan, Fortune. Nabas is kind of like Nabas and Tangalan. Those two beaches, Hawili Beach in Tangalan, and then in Nabas, right on the beach. I've actually filmed a couple of homes before in Nabas where Americans, they bought like 500 square meters beachfront. We're talking like they opened the wall, their gate, the water. Lots of people building beach houses. Because I think beach house is kind of like a dream for many expats. But I'll definitely check out the video. I saw the thumbnail real quick because when I open my YouTube, I usually see Mike, and then I usually see James and Karen, and now I see Rhea and Roy because I'm friends with them. I subscribe. I try to watch. It's just that sometimes time. It's like there's only so much time I have during the day, and then me, I've always made this rule. It's like I try to do everything while Dazzle's asleep. It's like because I don't want YouTube to like affect Dazzle and I's relationship. So the minute Dazzle wakes up at 10, I drop everything YouTube. It's like that's why if you notice, I try to do the live stream early. I try to reply to everybody early. I wake up early. I'm like 4:30 a.m. I'm awake. I try to get all that done because I don't want Dazzle to feel like she's second now to YouTube. She's still number one. I could drop YouTube anytime. Dazzle's always the number one. And if you notice, I don't try to like pressure Dazzle with our YouTube. It's like it's me mostly doing now filming, live stream. She does enough already because she does the thumbnails, she do the editing. Now she's doing a cooking show with Mom. So she does enough. She does. So I don't want it to like consume us. Actually, now I've decided, we're just gonna, there was a time when I was pumping videos, like one video a day. Now I'm just gonna skip. Every other day is when I'm gonna release videos. Less, trying to lessen the work. And probably even the live stream here right now, I've been doing it almost every day. I might switch to like doing every other day, to try to ease up a little bit, so we have more time, for just fun, more time. Edsel Ruiz. Hello for Escondido City, California, my hometown. Is from Iloilo. Oh man, I love Iloilo City, man. I always say in the Philippines, in my heart, in my mind, it's like Iloilo City is the best city in the Philippines. In my late dad's hometown, in Banga. All right, all right. I know Banga. We pass Banga all the time. We have lots of relatives or friends in the province. Nice, nice, Edsel. It's time to visit those family and friends. It's time to visit relatives, man. You don't want to, it's like you don't want to go too long a time and not visit people that you enjoy, that people that you want to spend time with. And I'm sure, Edsel, you know how it is. People in the province, man. That's why I fell in love with the Aklan province. It's the people here are just so kind, humble. They're so welcoming. It's like, it's a different vibe, with people in the province that when I go to the cities, like if I go to Cebu City, I have relatives in Manila actually, but, it's a different vibe, it's like when, my relatives in Manila, they're wrapped up in like that city life, I'm just more comfortable with like the people in the province. To me, the people in the province are just so humble. It's like so welcoming. Like even like when Dazzle and I we talk about it when the time when we went to James and Karen's Adventures house, Nanay. Nanay is so awesome. It's like I love Nanay. Same thing with Dazzle because I was talking to Nanay. It's like it's just like the vibe you get. People are just so nice. It's like in the city sometimes they're more westernized, more westernized in the city. The genuine people that I've met during my time, my 14 years in the Philippines. Most of them have been in the provinces. The people in the provinces, I really like. That's why I love it here. I love living the province life. Lowell, Matheson. I do have full medical here in Oregon, but financially, I really can't afford to live here anymore. I would have more money to live on. Therefore, I need to move. Okay, I will be 52 in December. Oh, okay. Well, Lowell, if you want to, Lowell, my contact information, if you look at all our videos, Lowell, my contact information is in the description box. My email, my messenger, and my WhatsApp. If you want to contact me directly, that way I can work with you. I can even do a phone call with you, a one-on-one. I don't charge. I never charge anybody that I assist. It's like you don't have to pay me anything. I just want to help. It's like I know people. It's like they want to come here, and I'm not gonna sell you in the Philippines. I'm gonna tell you like it is. If I don't think it's a good idea for you to move here, I will tell you. Because I want people when they move here to the Philippines, I want them to be successful. I don't want them to like come here and next thing you know, you're spending all your life savings in hospitals here and go bankrupt. I don't want that. That's like we can do a one-on-one, we can discuss, it's like your situation and maybe we can come up with something that's best for you. Hi, Ginno, watching from Seattle, Washington. Good morning, Benjamin. Another Washington State, JP, in JP land. My friend, Dr. Gray, he's also from the Seattle area. A lot of people here from Washington State. Hi, Edsel. Nice to know. All right, Fortune is the same as you, Edsel. Fortune's got relatives in Iloilo City. In Antique. He's got relatives in Antique too. Yes, Fortune, that house was way too big for me. Way too big for me. Yeah, me too, man. Edgar, it's like, that was one of the things when we were going to buy a house here at Camellia, Edgar. It was just Dazzle and I at the time. We were getting married, and I was like, we didn't want a big house. 2-bedroom and 1 bath was plenty of space for Dazzle and I. But, like anything else in life, things change. Now we have Leanna, now we have Mom, but it's okay because we can add a room downstairs here. And once we build the room here downstairs, that will be our Dazzle and Ice room. And then Mom and Leanna can each have a room. So there's a solution. It's like I'm glad that we picked a lot here with the space to expand if needed. I'm glad I did that. The townhome would have been cheaper for me to buy, but I was thinking that I wanted a little yard at least. I like having this space here, our gate, our wall, so I can, our dogs can come in and out of the house. They can just hang out here on our yard. So I'm glad when we did buy that we selected this lot instead of getting a townhome. I'll have to watch the video. I'll watch the video right after the live stream here, since I'm sure it's a big house. No, everybody's talking about how big the house is. You want to move to a peaceful life before your conditions get to the point before it becomes irreversible and incurable. If you wait too late, you'll need to be close to treatment facilities. Yes. And then a lot of times, I think what I've seen, the dynamic here to HD, it's like a lot of Filipinos, like Filipino Americans, a lot of Filipino Americans, I'm seeing more and more come to the Philippines now. They're bringing their parents here. It's like, I guess because assisted living facility in the U.S. is high price. So I have a friend, they're from Colorado. She's actually not Filipina. Her husband's Filipino. She's American, and they're moving to Iloilo City, and they're bringing the parents, both parents. They're her mom and dad. And they're Americans. They're not. They're bringing the parents to Iloilo City. They're moving into a house in I think they're just renting. But they'll be coming soon, so I'll get more information. But they're moving with their parents to the Philippines because they said in Colorado it's becoming unaffordable for them to keep their parents in assisted living. Here, they can have a room for their parents and hire people like a private nurse. It would still be cheaper than spending money on assisted living in the United States. So that's, I'm seeing more and more of that, and like our friend here, he's thinking of moving here because of the cost. Because of the cost in the U.S., he can't afford living in the U.S. That's why I'm always eager to help, because I know there's people that got so many questions. When I do one-on-one with people, they got so many questions about, can I make it there with this amount? Can I, what kind of, can I get a maid? Can I get a caregiver? Those questions always come up when I would do the one-on-one. And a lot of times, the Filipino families that's here, like with my friend that's coming from Colorado, he's Filipino, so he's got relatives here. So when they come, they have support. I think that's what I'm sure not all in the United States, but that's what happens in the U.S. Like even for my family in the U.S., my aunties, my cousins, when we were here in the Philippines, we were all so tight. We all get-togethers all the time. But when we went to America in the late 70s, we were spread out. People went to New Jersey, people went to California, people went to Houston, Texas. We were spread out. So we would, there were years where I didn't see my relatives, and then people kind of like, grew apart, Here in the Philippines, family bond is tight here. It's like, I think that's why I tell, me, I do not mind living, here in Aklan with all of Dazzle's family. I think that's a plus. I don't consider that as a negative, I know expats, you'll hear from expats all the time saying like, oh, you want to live like one island away from your in-laws, I don't believe that, man. It's like, you want to be living with your in-laws, I got my mother-in-law living with us, I got my sister-in-law living with us, To me, it's like, these people are the ones that's going to take care of me when I'm old. When I got sick with cancer, who's taking care of me? They are taking care of me. It's like, I think, in America, people isolate the, not all, again, I don't want to make a general statement, but a lot of people in America, and some of my friends now, expat friends that come here, they don't have relationships with their family in America. That's why they're bailing on them, coming to the Philippines and starting families here with Filipina and Filipino families, because unfortunately, that's what happens in the U.S. You raise kids in the U.S., they graduate high school, college, and they're gone. They're not like see you. They do their own life, which is nothing wrong with that. I think that's the American thing, right? Independence. You want your kids to grow up, be independent, do their own thing, but they don't have that tight family bond. They don't have that tight family bond that you get here in the Philippines. Here we all share in the happiness, we all share in the sadness, we all help each other. When I got sick, Dazzle and I had to go live in Iloilo City for 4 months to get treated. Now, what happens to my two dogs? We couldn't take my two dogs, but I had family here taking care of my two dogs, and that was peace of mind for me. For dog lovers, you know what I mean, right? It's like, they're important to me. My dogs are important to me. So, just knowing that I was video calling with our dog, Chloe and Totoy, and knowing families taking care of my dogs here, that did a lot, for me, like emotionally, mentally. That was like, I knew they were taken care of, and then like now, I'm healthy, but I know if someday I get really ill or I get sick, I got family to take care of me, man. To me, that's priceless. That's priceless. You saw that, Edgar. Yep. That's too much, also too much. I gotta watch it now, Fortune. You guys got me curious now. I'm leaving that behind me now. It's burying beef. Expensive out there, Kuya. Ooh, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not familiar with like I'm a city boy, man. I'm a city boy. I live in the province, but I'm not a province person, man. We gotta ask James with all that, man. James is like the farm person. He knows everything about farming, but me, I'm not. You'll be gambling with your life if you go far from treatment. But if the priority is to live out your life, then think of it as sort of hospice care. All right. I like that thinking. I like that thinking, HD. It's like, sometimes, it's like, I get that. It's like, why prolong life if life is not good? If you're in pain, if you're suffering, it's like, why extend it? Sometimes, you just want to go out with a bang. You just want to go out smiling, doing the thing that you want, I think I saw a little bit of that, it's like when I went through my cancer treatments. I was just like, I was making videos at the time, and I was like going through chemo, going through radiation. My whole mentality, HD, at the time, I was just thinking, man, I just would love one more chance of going to the beach. If I can go one more time, swim in the ocean, go to the beach, I would be okay with that. It's like I was at peace with that. And what helped me actually, and I've mentioned this before on Livestream, for me, what helped me during my cancer treatments, 4 months of cancer treatments, it was brutal. I lost hair in the back of my head. I was burn marks. I lost 40 pounds. It was brutal. But I think that the thing that I remember even then and now looking back is like, I was just happy that I got to retire early. I was 45 years old when I retired here in the Philippines. I got to live my best life already, even before my cancer diagnosis. I was mountain biking here. I was doing the life I wanted to live. It's like I felt free here. I was not working. I have not worked for the last 14 years. So it's like I didn't have a boss nagging me. I didn't have like deadlines. I didn't have, I didn't have like meetings. Suspenses, I didn't have to write those darn performance reports. I hated those performance reports and meetings. Those were like the things I could, man. Meetings were like horrible. Sitting in a meeting for like 2 hours and then hearing the same nonsense, things that don't matter. It's like, that was torture for me. And so for me, just being away from that, it's like I got diagnosed with cancer in 20 Valentine's Day 2023. Over 2 years ago now, and just when I got diagnosed, I was just like, well, I've had 12 good years of retirement in the Philippines. It's like, I was like, I'm good with it. I was at peace with it. Of course, there was sadness because you're not never a happy thing when you get diagnosed, we hear news like that. But for me, I was okay with it because I was able to retire. I was able to live a good life. And even now, it's like you see me, I'm just like living day to day. It's like I know cancer can come back at any time, but I'm just living my life, living my best life, enjoying each day, enjoying the beautiful weather, sunshine, at sunset. Dazzle and I, we always walk at sunset together. We walk our dogs, after the live stream here, I'll walk my two dogs, walk them at sunset. To me, it's like I'm just blessed. I'm grateful that I was able to retire, because I know not everybody gets to do it. It's like, and I'm sure everybody's heard stories about people retiring too late. They retire at 67, like 67 would be retirement age for me for Social Security. And then they last 1 or 2 years. To me, I didn't want that. I didn't want that for myself. I wanted to like enjoy life while I can, and I did. It's like when I was 45, I was the fittest I've ever been in my life. It's like I could run a 5K just like that, no worries. 10K, I could run like that. I was riding bicycles, I was riding road bikes, I was riding mountain bikes. I was so fit, and I was swimming, I was snorkeling. I was enjoying life. Hard to do that kind of stuff when you're like in your 60s. I mean, some people can do it. My Kuya Rex, is 67. It's just like the best shape of his life still. But, a lot of times, as we get older, you hit that 60. People always tell me the 60 number, 60. That's when you start feeling like, dang, I'm not young anymore. I can't do this stuff anymore. But all right, let me see here. I just don't want to get too behind on the comments here. Mom and Dad still did look like, oh, they always have fun. Oop, there's a Tutoy. What's up, Tutoy? Tutoy, who are you barking at? They always have fun. I mean, that's why you can tell it anyway on their cooking show. They're enjoying doing the cooking together. And they'll do more of that, more video. I actually have one more video where it was just Dazzle cooking. I'll wait a little bit to publish that. A mom went to church. She had an activity at church, so Dazzle had to do the cooking by herself. But they'll do more of that. They'll do. They're fun, right? It's like they're fun together, doing their cooking show. Monthly executive and board members. Ooh, American Legion. All right, brother. All right, Ray. My good friend in Sacramento, California. My brother from another mother. Take care, Ray. Take care. Ledesma. Hi. Hello. Is the project China? Oh, all right. I've seen, they always, it's gonna be hard for China. I mean, the one thing that China, with them announcing they're gonna invade Taiwan and all that, the element of surprise, which is very important in warfare. You don't announce to the enemy, I'm gonna attack you in 2027. Because they're gonna be. Taiwan is already super prepared, and then the alliance, the America, Japan, South Korea, Philippines, Australia, European countries, India, we're all prepared for that invasion. It's not, and that's what Balikatan is. Balikatan exercises here in the Philippines. We practice already in case of that invasion scenario, what we're gonna do. So the Philippines, Americans, they're preparing for that stuff. Like year after year, they're practicing for the invasion. So it's hard to invade a country with that when when there's that element of surprise. It's not there. If you watch Scotty Scheffler, yes, Scotty Scheffler, I remember that golfer. Very good golfer. Being at the top is not the most fulfilling life. It's the time you spend with your family and friends and lifting people. Yeah, I'll have to say. I watch him a little bit. I watch a little bit of golf. That Netflix special. I love watching that Netflix special. And I saw Scotty Scheffler there. But so true, man. So true. It's like that's one thing HD that I've learned. I've been doing YouTube now over 3.5 years. I've talked to many people daily. I'm communicating with people daily. Um, it's really not the money or the success, It's like that's gonna make you happy. It's the good people around you is what To me, anyway, that's what That's why even my friend from Vegas, he told me, "Oh, that must be a tight fit in your house, man. You got a small house with Dazzle, Leanna, and Mom, but we make it fit. Mom and Leanna, they got bunk beds now. There are bunk beds in their room, but it's just waking up each morning, being surrounded by people that care about you and love you, and we're all always supporting each other. We're happy. It's like the minute we wake up, we're like giving each other a hard time, joking. We always tease Leanna. Leanna's kind of like, but she's got a good sense of humor. Leanna doesn't get, picon. Picon is the word, but she doesn't get picon. Now, actually. Leanna, we call her, Dazzle calls her nonchalant. Because Leanna, you can like tease her, and Leanna will be like, okay. Like it doesn't affect her. You know how some kids, if you tease them, the kids, they get picon. Picon is like they get angry. It's like, Leanna's like, it doesn't bother her. She's like, that Dazzle gave her, you're nonchalant. Nonchalant. My only investment will be 2 to 3 emergency fund, medical fund, multi-saving accounts. Oops, travel fund. Yeah, it's like, to me, Daniel, it's like, that was my thinking. It's like, when I retired, I wanted to be fully retired. I know, I know people say you got to invest your whole life. But for me, when I was investing in stocks, it kind of like consumed me. I'm always like checking the ticker. Okay, how much money I got now? I'm like, oh dang, oh no, Apple went down. Damn, I just, you're always like that thinking, like, dang, I just lost a lot of money, But I didn't want that. That's why, whatever happens in the stock market doesn't even bother me. It doesn't really affect me. It's like even the dollar. I see the dollar peso exchange. I'm happy when it's up. Like I think right now it's like a 57. I'm happy like I said, anything over 50 for me is a bonus. So and I see it, we're like at 57. So to me, I do like that when it's higher. But if it goes down to 54 again, 53, doesn't really affect me that much. It's like but I just look at it. Oh well, it's lower, less money on the budget. Scotty's rise is phenomenal. Such consistency. Did you know that his world ranking is 20 plus, while Rory McIlroy, I like, he's getting older, man. Like Rory McIlroy is up there in age now. Is that almost double? He is like 2 years ahead of the competition. Yeah, I just saw that, like Scotty Scheffler, he had that run where he was just, best golfer, no doubt. Hey, brother. All right, Peter. I haven't seen you in a while, Peter. All right. Good to see you. You look good. Thank you. I'm looking, I'm not just looking good, but feeling good, man. It's like I got more energy. It's like I make sure I got plenty of rest. Make sure I nap in the afternoon. I sleep early. I'm always in bed by 8 p.m. But feeling good. Everything's going good. Health-wise, everything's going good for me. It is getting warm now here, man. It is starting to go. I'm actually, that's the thing here. Even though it's like 80 degrees Fahrenheit, the humidity is what's gonna get you here. And it's not even 9 a.m. yet. I might have to cut this live stream earlier today, man. I'm starting to sweat here. Don't forget dating fun as well. HD, I had an idea about it, Fortune. He's the most successful golfer of our time. even more than Tiger Woods. Right, HD. Very impressive. His career earnings is now 92. Scotty wins at least 20 the past week. He will catch up in 3 years. Yeah, I mean the price money now in golf is like, of course we need to consider price. Yeah, price money. Good point. Good point. All right, HD. So you saw the interview with it. What's the point? What's the point? Happy to hear. Ah, you read my message, Ginno. I regularly visit the Philippines and meet my relatives, friends, and classmates. I miss my many adventures and planning to. All right. And so, I mean, like you said, man, it's like, you know, even my friend from Northern California, he vacationed here. He's in his 70s. And when he came here, I met him. Dazzle and I met him in Boracay. He went to like visited his childhood friends. He's in his 70s, but he has childhood friends, people he went to school with in Iloilo City. He even went to Cebu. He had friends there. I mean, it's fun when you do that, right? When you like visit people here you haven't seen. Like for me, when I visited my relatives in Bulacan. Bulacan is a province near Manila, near Metro Manila, and I hadn't seen those relatives in like 30 years. I was a kid. The last time I saw them, and to see them, and we remembered each other. Like, oh yeah, we used to play here. We used to get kaimito. Kaimito is the fruit. We used to like climb a kaimito tree and get the kaimito. We used to play out in the rice field. It was just like, it's good, to see good people, be around, the reunions. And those are popular here in the Philippines, Filipinos love a reunion. It's like they have like elementary reunion here, high school reunion, and college reunion. It's like very popular. Anywhere you go in the Philippines, people just like reunions here. Hi from India. Oh, thank you for subscribing, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. That's the interview link. All right. I'll look for it. The Scott. I'll have to watch it now. HD. You got me interested now in the interview with Scotty Scheffler. You sound wise. I'm not wise, man. I just like, for me, it's just like my experiences in life, just like anybody else, I've had ups. I retired here, it's like a typical life in the U.S. You had to hustle. I was in the military. I was part-time job. Everything was about making money, saving money, building wealth. But for me, it changed when I retired here, because when I retired in the Philippines, it's a lot slower pace of life, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted when I came here. Good morning. Beeline, all right. I am hearing you about the meetings. Yeah, man. I used to bring coffee to those meetings. It doesn't matter, military meetings, it doesn't matter. When I work at civilian hospitals, it's like, man, they were just torture. You felt like man, is this my life? Is this my life? I'm like, this is a waste, And the minute you retire, Beeline, once you're retired, for me anyway, once I retired, I realized how worthless those meetings are, because now, really, you were just in those meetings and those things, to earn money, because everybody has to earn money. But, what did they really accomplish, in your life? It's like pretty much nothing, you're Lowell, family is everything. Unfortunately, I don't have any left. I am alone. I do have a few friends who check up on me and help me from time, like helping with shopping. Yes, and that's the thing. I think, Lowell, like I mentioned, that's what's unfortunate. Because I've seen both sides. I've lived now in the Philippines. My first 12 years, and then now 26 years of my life spent here in the Philippines, and then the other half of my life, the rest of my life, spent in the U.S. So I've seen both sides. And the thing that sticks out with me in the U.S. is like, because, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying life there, there's something wrong with life. I think the life in the U.S., people push people for independence, right? Oh, my dog, like Chloe. You know how you raise your kids in the United States to be independent. That's big in the U.S. Independent. You have to be on your own by 18. You got to like think for yourself. Do that. Here in the Philippines, and as long as you're not married, you can live at home. I see people here in their 20s, sometimes 30s, still living at home with their parents, and that's allowed. That's not a big thing, It's like, because again, family is encouraged here, the bond. I mean, you bicker, like any other family, you bicker, there's arguments, but you're still family. In the U.S., people are so quick, and I've seen it, my time there. A small argument in the U.S. and all of a sudden, I'm not talking to you anymore. And they could be sisters. It could be your auntie. And years will go by and you don't talk to people. To me, that's why a lot of people, when they get older in the United States, they don't have that family to take care of them. That dynamic is not there. Here in the Philippines, that dynamic doesn't exist. Here in the Philippines, majority of family here take care of the elderly. If you get old here, if you're in your 70s, 80s, you will have family to take care of you here. Not all, especially, there's always an exception, but for most of the time, Filipino families, we take care of our elders. We make sure that Lola or Lolo is taken care of. Somebody's gonna take in Lola or Lolo and live with their house and take care of them. We don't have nursing homes here. They're starting to have them assisted living, but you got pay money. You pay money in the Philippines. So most elderly people here, so common. My neighbor here, Lola, they live in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. Lola is living with them. That is a common dynamic here. A dynamic that you don't see a lot in the U.S., unfortunately. In the U.S., people are so quick to ship the elderly to like a nursing home or assisted living. And a lot of the elderly don't want to go there, right? A lot of, you don't want to go to you want to be around your family. You don't want to be around people like strangers, Here, it's like, that's not going to happen. So Lola, Lolo here, grandpa, grandma, somebody in the family will always take care of them, or a joint force. Everybody puts in their share, make sure that we can take care of Lolo or Lola. Sir, it's very beautiful to see you smiling after all of it. You are everyone. Oh, thank you. It should be like you. And I'm going a little bad here. Thought of the dogs in every situation. Best part that I love my dogs, man. My dog's like Chloe's 11 years old now and Toto is 9, so they've been around me for so long, and they're family. My dogs are family to me. Hey, their shampoo is more expensive than my shampoo. The Fur Magic shampoo, I pay like $500, $600 for their shampoo. My shampoo is like Head and Shoulders, man. All right, let me make sure I charge this. I don't want to lose you guys. I have this power bank. All right, put that there. Like helping with shopping. All right, sir. All right, thank you. Here, all right. Good to hear your life is good. Post scans. Yes, I know. It's like, I'm the same, Beeline, I love hearing stories from people, especially when they tell me they're a cancer survivor. They have clean cancer for 5, 10, 15 years. I love hearing that because gives you inspiration, right? Gives you inspiration that it's not a death sentence. If you want to discuss to him some person. Yeah, thank you, HD. All right. Yeah, I can discuss more one-on-one than on the live stream. Lowell. Hello, do you speak Spanish? And are you? Um, I don't speak a lot of Spanish. I understand a little bit. I took Spanish when I was living in the United States in high school at Long Beach, Wilson. They always have like foreign language, and I took Spanish as my foreign language in high school. I can order beer. uh, Uno más cerveza, por favor. I can order beer. It's like, and I know a lot of Filipino words. A lot of Filipino words came from Spain, from Spanish. I'm from the U.S. I'm Filipino American. I'm a United States citizen. I was in the United States military for 20 years. Now retired here in the Philippines. I'm dual citizen. I'm citizen of the United States, and I'm also a citizen of the Philippines. What? No tampo? No tampo. I experienced that when Dazzle and I initially got married. The jealousy, the tampo, that part. Because Dazzle's a lot younger than me. When Dazzle and I got married, Dazzle was 20. She was 20 years old. I was 49. I'm 29 years older than Dazzle. But now, because we're gonna be celebrating our 10th wedding anniversary here in April. She knows, she's everything to me, and she knows that, and finances, everything, most of it is on Dazzle's name. It's like, I trust her 100%. No, he doesn't. He served in the Air Force and initially from the Philippines. All right. Good morning, everyone. All right. Good morning, Salina. Then went back to the Philippines 14 years ago. That's after serving. Yes. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you. I think you might need to wear the ice vest when doing. I know, right, man? I need to get that ice vest, man. Man, it's starting to warm up here, HD. I'm like sweating here. Earlier, it was cool in here. Like I said, by 9 a.m., it's like starting to get warm here. Don't worry, Mom. Hey, Mom Janet. Don't worry, Mom Janet. It is what it is, Mom Janet. It's part of the thing. We got people here. You got yourself, Mom Janet, Fortune. You got HD. I'm still, yeah, fight strong, Mom Janet. I'm the same way. If I get like, not good report from the doctor, hey, we just gotta keep fighting, right? It's like, as long as we're breathing, man, as long as we're breathing, Mom Janet, we're gonna keep the fight. Just focus on the good. Focus on the good, Mom Janet. It's like, forget about the doctors. Focus on the good. Focus on the positive things in your life. That's what I do when I get to like, situations. I'm always like, even with YouTube, you can't avoid it with YouTube. You get trolls, and then sometimes people that are negative. I just like move them away from my life. I always say, I always focus on the good people. I always focus on the positives. If I feel like something negative or anything like that, I start moving away from those people. It's like, life's too short. Life's too short to like have negative people in your life. I think anyway. Wish you well. Prayers for sure. Prayers for Mom Janet for sure. I am lucky enough to now be in a small team of peers who are like-minded. So meetings, online catch up with friends. I now work. Oh, nice. Man, all these people working from home, man. I'm jealous. I never got to do that, Beeline. I never got to work from home. I would have loved that, man. Working at home. Oh, my shorts. Wearing shorts. I don't mind wearing the necktie, the long sleeve shirt, but that's so cool, man. I think that's so. Hey, there's Charlie Letts, my good friend in Boston. My good friend in Boston. I'm developing white coat syndrome. Oh, Mom Janet, don't worry about those doctors. I know how that is, man. I get nervous too when even though, my next MRI is in October, I don't get a good feeling in hospitals. When I'm in a hospitals, there's always that doubt. There's always that doubt when I'm in a hospital because you can get that news, that negative news again. Good morning. Sorry, no worries, no worries. Usually you're the first, man. Usually you're the first, Charlie. So no worries, man. Like I said, if you're available in the live stream, it's great. If not, no pressure. I don't want ever. It's not mandatory to watch the live stream. It's like if you're free, you want good conversation, good banter. It's like that's why I do the live stream. No pressure at all. No pressure. Lightning storms. We get that too. We get lightning storms here too. Not last night, but thunder and lightning, like loud thunder here, like shake the ground thunder sometimes here. Has been barking. Yeah, my dog Totoy, Chloe doesn't care. She couldn't care lightning, thunder. Chloe doesn't get bothered. But Totoy, she starts like scratching. She starts hiding underneath our bed. She's got a spot underneath our bed. It's huge business here in Australia. Yeah, I think Beeline, that's going to be huge coming up here in the Philippines now too. Actually, like I know in Angeles City, I remember last time I was in Angeles City, a lot of Koreans are coming to the Philippines to like assisted home kind of thing, or they'll rent a place inside Clark City and they hire people to take care of them. So a lot. That's why when you go to Angeles City, big population of Koreans, Koreatown. They have their own town. It's like a whole, like not just it's like a whole town. It's like Korea. It's like you feel like you're in Korea. Korea signs, Korea food, Korea groceries. But a lot of Koreans are coming to the Philippines to like a lot of the elderly, so that I guess it's more expensive in Korea. It's cheaper here in the Philippines. So I think it's going to be big business here too. I know assisted living. I know that's going to be even nursing homes. I'm sure that's going to be big business here in the Philippines because people from other countries are coming here to occupy those spaces. I don't think it's ever going to be big with Filipinos. Like I said, most Filipinos, we take care of our elderly. That's kind of like a pride thing with Filipinos. Like Fortune can probably talk about this. I'm sure like if Fortune's like parents or somebody, if they need care, they're going to live with Fortune. That's almost like not even a question, because if you're well off, if you can afford, why wouldn't you take in your parents or your spouse's parents? That's not even a question here. Fortune, Mom Janet, my wife was ER doc, no longer wears white coat. She just, scrubs. I wore many scrubs in my day. Don't get, makes sense, Fortune. That makes sense. They don't give, that white coat is kind of scary. The white coat with the stethoscope, wear scrubs. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes, dogs are a bit experienced than us in terms of care, but equally return back. Oh man, the dogs are awesome. They're like the best creatures on earth, man. They just love you. Dogs just love you. I am from Calibo, Aklan too. All right, Ruiz, all right. I'm going to Calibo later. I'm going to meet up with my friend from Atlanta after this live stream. I'm going to walk my dogs after the live stream, then head to Calibo. I thought it was crazy. Now I don't want to see a white coat. Oh, Mom Janet. You're not supposed to sleep in a refrigerator. All right. Siin ka Macaron. Siin ka Macaron. Where are you from? My tumor showed itself at my 47th birthday party by giving me out of hospital BFRS in 20. My wife is CPAR, so literally, oh man, all right. And I know how that is, Beeline. I know I owe my life to Dazzle. It's like when I went through my treatments, she was my rock. Dazzle was there, just the two of us. We were in Iloilo City in our condo, and Dazzle took good care of me. Iya sa San Diego, all right? Then surgery to remove the tumor, 4.5 years of chemo, drug, any descents. All right, man. Beeline. It's like I feel it, brother. We got something to share here. Yes, yes, right. You just to me, it's like I know it's I'm still cancer recovery. I have a lot of side effects of the chemo, a lot of side effects of the radiation. But like to me, I'm alive. I'm just thankful to be alive and enjoying each day. Life is when there are others around who knows care and life threatening. Yes. Ooh, all right, there you go, Tanya. I watched the Balikbayan box opening. Are you renovating, redecorating, or rearranging the house? No, we just used that house. That house is for sale. That house is for sale. So we just used that house. I had the Balikbayan box delivered to the house. So we're not moving. We're not. That's not our house. We're still in our spot here. Beeline. Oh my, are you okay? Mayad uwani mo, nalipatan. Nalipatan. I hear that all the nalipatan. Mag-aklan. Natanan. Aklanon. National City, Chula Vista. May akon na ikampod. All right, all right. Too long for me, man. I can understand a little bit of Aklanon, but not a paragraph. Not a paragraph. There's certain words that I know, macaron, nalipatan, I hear that from Basil and Leanna. Your sister is so generous for sent. Oh, yeah, my sister's awesome, Tanya. My sister is like 10 years older than me. She's 69 now. I'm 59. My sister was more like my mom growing up because my mom was busy with her business. My mom had a dressmaking business. She had a store in Divisoria. She had a store at Divisoria. Then she had a store in Baclaran. That was how my mom was a single mom. That's how she raised us. Me, my sister, and my brother. So my sister was always the one taking care of me. We've always been super close, and we just have love for each other. So that's why, my sister spoils me. My sister spoils me. And she'll be here. My sister's going to be here come January. She plans on staying with us for at least 6 months. I think she's going to stay here in our area for 6 months. So that's why maybe I have to speed up on the extra room down here to make that one bedroom down here. I might have to speed up on that process. That way, my sister will we have space. We have space for my sister, but we're gonna make it work. You know how Filipinos are, man. People always tell me, man, you must be a tight fit in that house with 4 people. What are you talking about? We can fit 2 more. We're Filipinos, man. Filipinos, we're used to growing up in small space with a lot of people. My Vietnamese friend told me that she is not allowed to own land in Vietnam since she's U.S. citizen now. All right. Here in the Philippines, because I'm dual citizen, Mom Janet, I'm allowed. I'm allowed to own land still here in the Philippines. Actually, I have to check. I have one question that somebody had asked me. This person, he's a naturalized citizen now in America. He's a United States citizen, and he's not dual citizen. He hasn't gotten his dual citizenship, and he was asking me whether he can buy land in the Philippines. So that's a good question. I have to research that question. I always get these questions from people that I got to research. I don't have all the answers. I have to check Google and chat GPT like everybody else. So I got to research on that. My first initial reaction would be probably he can, even as a balikbayan, because he's got a Philippine birth certificate. So that's my initial thought, that he can buy land. But I have to double check because I don't want to give out wrong information there. Here, the aged care is income based. If you can self-fund, you do. But if you are poor, the government charges 87 in your government to fund you in care. I see, Beeline. And that's a problem, I think, in America. That's what families are running into. The assisted living, nursing home care, all that. It's not cheap. They're fine. And especially if you have 2 parents that have to go in to assisted living or nursing home, It could be, it's a lot of money. And so a lot of times that's why more and more are thinking of just moving to the Philippines. They're at retirement age anyway. They're receiving Social Security. Their parents are receiving Social Security. So it should be enough to like live here and then hire a private nurse, hire a caregiver, you know. She should reacquire citizenship, reacquired Philippine. Yeah, that's what I think this person was asking me that question, Fortune, because they're on the fence regarding reacquiring their Philippine citizenship. They're not sure if they want to do it, so that's the question. So I got to research it, whether if they're a naturalized American citizen with a Filipino birth certificate, if they can purchase land here in the Philippines. Head to Mary's by the plaza. I know what you're talking about. Mary's Refreshment. It's right beside Pares Retiro. They actually have a booth of that Mary's Refreshment at the New Grand Gaisano. They have siopaw. They got like gigantic siopaw. And then bachoy. I think bachoy and siopaw are their like top seller. Family business. Namon Ron. Oh, okay, Namon Ron. Like our business. All right. Yes, all in the same boat, navigating. Amen. All right. God bless. God bless, Mom Janet. Oh, I'm keeping you in my prayers, Mom Janet. You're always in my thoughts and prayers. We need more good people on this earth, man. Sir, you are great. It felt very good to be part of your life. I will be back. All right, all right. Thank you, thank you. You bring up. All right, I'm glad. And that's my thing, man. I love sharing positivity. I'm all about being positive. I'm just blessed, right? I'm just blessed to be here. It's like if anybody has gone through cancer treatments, if you've gone through like 12 chemo treatments like I did, 33 radiation treatments, you're just happy to be alive. You're just happy to be living on this earth still. Thankful. Thankful each day. Each day for me is a blessing. I don't take any day for granted. Kami. All right, military, same things. Pareho lang. All right, Ruiz. I'll be retired after, wow, 38 years. Nice, nice. I did 20. I did 20 active duty. That's all I could handle at the military. After 20 years, I was ready to get out. Oh man, Otani pitching tonight. All right, thanks. My good friend Brian in Galveston County. I gotta get going. Check out my Dodgers. Otani pitching tonight. Ginno, I sometimes mix in some Japanese Spanish words accidentally when talking. Hey, no worries, man. I'm sure I do the same thing, with like Tagalog and English and some Aklanon. Sometimes one language doesn't stay in the compartment. All right. Charlie, all right. Oh, I can't even imagine the storms you guys have. Oh man, when we get like lightning and thunder here, man, Charlie, it almost like that thunder, it almost shakes the house, man. And then the lightning, you can see it in the windows. Like, it's like it feels like it's right on top of your house when we get lightning storms here. When we get them, we get plenty of lightning storms. Oh, it is. It's crazy. It's great. When it's Tagalog and Aklana, I sometimes can't differentiate specific words. Yeah, and because Dazzle, she speaks like Ilonggo, Hiligaynon, and I hear that too. I hear that when she's talking to Kat, now when she's talking to Karen, I mean, she speaks Aklana, and talks to Ria, she talks Hiligaynon. So I mix them all words too, but as long as I can understand it, it's like sometimes I understand. Not all, of course. Foreigners can only own condo unit. Yes, yes, yes. Foreigners, they can only condo, and then the condo has to be 50% owned by Filipinos. So the 49%, they can own. The foreigners can own on the condo, unless you trust. Then marry a Pinay. Then you can be co-owners. Co-owners. All right. All right, I'm getting up here. I got to try to finish the live stream now because I'm getting up to like the 2 hour mark. My sister and brother-in-law bought land in Palawan as Canadian citizens. They applied for. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tanya. So I think I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking the same. I figure as long as you have the birth certificate, but I'll do. But it's good that at least Canadian citizens you were able to buy land because of the Philippine birth certificate. I grew up speaking American English too long. That it's much more comfortable speaking English, especially. Yeah, and for me, HD, when I think in my head, I'm English is how like when I'm thinking, it's like I don't think in Tagalog. I think in English. That's why I'm more comfortable speaking in English than Tagalog. There's some Tagalog that I don't know the words anymore, so I use English instead. Was tablets daily. All right, Bila. Mine was intravenous. I had like 12 I had to sit there for like 8 hours at a time. And then after the 8 hours, on some days, I had radiation afterwards because they said that the radiation's more effective after the chemo treatment. So there were days where I start at 9 a.m. for my chemo. I was done by 4, and then I go through my radiation at 6. So there were days where my whole day from like 9 a.m. in the morning till like 8 p.m. at night, it was all treatments. I know 38 is too long. You gotta love your work to stay in that. I know, right? 38 Navy, man. That's a lot of years. A lot of years in the. Actually, una among house. Oh, your first house was in Numancia. All right. All right. My wife, gas, land, and on the mainland. All right. They got, yeah, yeah. You had mentioned that your wife's family is one of the OGs of Boracay, the Sacapano, the Tirol, the Yap. All the OGs of Boracay. Families, a lot of families own most of the land in Boracay. They're known as like the OGs over here. IV is much more potent than tablets. Instant compared to tablet that needs to be absorbed. Yeah, yeah. Remember, man, that chemo treatments. I remember that on the IV HG, what sticks in my mind is they have to wrap the IV line, the whole line in foil because the liquid was like light sensitive. I guess it was more potent if it's like protected from light. And I had to sit there. At least they had comfortable chairs, that reclining chairs where you had to sit there for like 8 hours because they have to hydrate you first. You get like 2 hours of hydration, IV hydration, and then you have 4 hours of the chemo treatment, and then 2 hours of rehydration. Because I guess with chemo treatment, hydration is like really important. It dehydrates you. What's the drug? Not nice. Side effects. Oh yeah, I know about the side effects. And mine wasn't Glevic. Mine was cisplatin, and gemcitabine was the two main drug that they used on my chemo. And whew, side effects. Too many side effects. My motor skills, my balance. Everything. It's basically it poisoned my whole body. So all my parts, my liver, my kidneys, my everything, it's affected me. It's like, but it is what it is. You had to live, you had to survive, you had to like kill the cancer. So San Roque Church coming from Calibo, sa Pediman, Pedi Road. Okay. Yes. Take care, Ginno. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Stay cool in that weather. All right. All right. I'm looking forward to the rain. I'm looking forward to the rain now. Buddha. Oh, that's right. You're from Boston. You're a Red Sox fan. No, I know you're kidding, man. I don't take it, man. It's like, it's like, it's all in fun. All in fun. I know we got Mookie. I know we got Mookie from you guys. And I bet yeah, it's hard not to like Mookie, man. Mookie's just awesome. He's team player, good guy. I'm glad we got Mookie now. I'm glad we got Freddie Freeman. I'm glad we got Otani now, man. And some of those big land owning families are grabbing more. Not, I know, Beeline. There's always like a squabble over land in Boracay, unfortunately. Serious question, Unc. With the current political here and there, what do you look for in a man? All right, brother. All right, let me end the live stream here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the live stream. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time. As always, everyone, please take care.